Hey, what's up guys? So, in this tutorial I will be talking about declarations and data types. Basically what declarations are the thing that is used to find out what the scope of the variable is. You can declare the variable by using on module level you can use 5 different declarations: public, global, private, dim, and const. Public and global are the same thing. Global is an older version of public. It's not recommended to use global anymore, but you still can. And public and global are, when using the public and global declaration, the variable can be used within all code files in the project. So basically, it's a variable that can be used throughout the entire project. Private and dim declarations. Now I'm gonna do my definition of the private and dim declarations. When using private and dim declaration, the variable can only be used in the code file, the current code file, used in the code file, the current code file. What that basically means is, I messed up on that one, but it means that you can only use it in the code file that it's declared in, that the variable is declared in. Const variable. A const declaration is, when using const declaration, the variable will need to have a fixed value. The variable will need to be either public or private scope. Default is private when used when not set, meaning that if you just put const, if you were to just put const, like const, and then var1 and equal 1, or const var1 equals 1, then this would be declared as a private integer, and this will be declared as a public integer. So basically const is just a constant. Now down to procedure level, procedures are like the events. There are three declarations in the procedure level: dim, static, and const. When using dim declaration, the variable can only be used in the procedure it is placed in. Note, every time procedure is called, the variable's value is reset to the default set value. What that basically means is, every time the procedure is called, the value that was set within the code before the procedure was called, the variable is gonna be reset straight back to that every time the procedure is called. Not sure if that made it any different, but that's how it is. Static. Now down to the static declaration. When using static declaration, the variable can only be used in the procedure it is placed in. Note, every time procedure is called, the variable's value is set to the latest value before call. So what it means is, if you call the procedure and there's a static variable inside that, and you change that static variable throughout the procedure, whatever that static variable was last, it's gonna save it as that and set it to that the next time you call the the procedure. The const declaration. When using const declaration, the variable can only be used in the procedure it is placed in. The variable must have a fixed value. Note, every time the procedure is called, the variable's value is reset to the default fixed value. what that means is it's basically the same as dim, except you have to have a fixed value for const. Now on to data types. There are three main categories of data types. There's numeric, characters, and logical. Within numeric, there's integers and real numbers. Within integers, there's integers means like all numbers without decimals. And within integers, there are 5 different data types. There's byte, which is an integer of -128 to +127. There's a short, which is -32,768 to +32,767. There's an int, which is -2,147,483,648 to +2,147,483,647. And then there's a long, which is a negative quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, 36 million billion, 854,755,888 to 9 quintillion, 223 trillion, 372. No, it's 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, 36,854,775,807. And then there's a big int, which is just infinity. It's negative infinity to positive infinity. Now, in real numbers, it's basically all numbers with or without a decimal. So double, which is a 754 float value, and float, which is just a variant of a double. Now within the characters category, there's car or character, and there's a string. The character is a singular letter or number, and string is multiple letters and numbers. So a character would be like H or 2, as when a string can be ASDF or 1, 2, 3, 4. That's basically it. That's the only difference between them. So string is technically connected characters. Within the logical category, there's a boolean, which is technically just true and false. So yeah, that's basically it for so basically how to call a variable using what I just taught you is, okay, so at a module level, it'll be like public, and then the variable name, and then as data type equals value. Or you can just do and down to procedure level, it'll be like well, calling a const is more like this. And it's either going to be a number or it's going to be a string. So that's basically how to call a const. And then for dim, so those are basically how to call a variable, or how to declare a variable, I should say. Notice how there is no const variable with this, like this, without a value, because you have to have a value. You have to have a fixed value with a const. You cannot, or else it would be an error. Thanks for watching. The next tutorial we'll be getting into more. We will be making a little program using variables.